Okay, we ready?
Go ahead.
All right, like to call to order the June 13th meeting of the Littleton Board of Health. Starting off with the first agenda item, administrative matters, board member reports. First thing, 370 Harwood Avenue and the composting closure. So I was out there on the 2nd. Aaron as well came out. And I think as I noted in the email, and Aaron can certainly add to this, her input, as I noted in the email, it was cleared out. What was left was what was clearly scrapings. It was a freshly scraped yard. By that pile, you could smell composting. You walked away from the pile, you couldn't. So moved that away. He was instructed to get rid of that. There were trucks coming, etc. So, you know, from my perspective, it was closed. I didn't see a reason to execute then any fine. And in fact, we saw a follow-up email from one of the abutters,
Right.
even noting that
He was very
windows
happy.
open, everything was fine. He was happy. Aaron, anything to add
No.
to that?
Nope.
I went by there too, and I noticed. I concur what you say.
Good, good. Anything else? Any other board member reports?
No, board. The
Okay.
only thing I have to say is, the person that is working at the police department, he came and asked me, he's gonna, not this Thursday, the following month, on the third Thursday, he's gonna have a table at the Common. And what he does, he gets everything ready, food, and then he sells it for charity. And I went to get an application, and I make sure that, because he working at the police, he didn't have time to do that. So I make sure that everything was brought back to him, and he says he can't do it this Thursday coming, the third Thursday of the month, but the next Thursday he's going to be selling food already made. He doesn't have to make it.
Yeah.
And he knows he's been doing it for many different clubs, Rotary included. You know what I mean? So he's very diligent and very. Him and his wife, they're only trying to do some so they can do for charity. That's it.
Okay,
Just to so you people know.
all right. So that's about all above water?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? All right. Maybe an extra added agenda item we can hit at the end, just to keep things moving along, is talk about the next few meetings and vacations and travel. They're going to be kind of rough, I think. So, why don't we save that for the end? Minutes. Why don't we go hit the minutes? Have
So there's
everybody.
2 sets, but you can only do the 23rd because Erin was not here on the 9th, so we need 3 members to vote on minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll hold the 9th until the next meeting.
Yeah. I already read it, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'll wait for everybody else to.
Who was going to contact the Conservation Commission?
Oh, so I talked to Conservation Commission, and they said if anybody from the Board of Health wants to go to their meeting, that would be fine with them.
I can go.
Okay.
So I would just,
I'll let you know when I'm going, so if anybody
contact
else wants
Amy
to
so
come.
she can just kind of slot it on the agenda.
Who's Amy?
Amy's the Conservation Administrator.
Okay.
All reviewed the minutes from May 23rd.
Everybody read it? Okay.
Anybody have
I'll
any
make a mo-
changes?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have motion to approve. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All right. Minutes from May 23rd are approved. Any correspondence or updates?
Yes. So, I have 2 bills to be paid, and then I have another one, that was brought up, from the MRC, the Medical Reserve Corps, who, I don't know if you guys know all about it, but it's sort of a combination of the Board of Health and the Fire Department, and then MRC is all volunteers. So they're trying to increase their number of volunteers. They want to do a mass mailing, and
Okay.
so Alex McCurdy, who's the chairman of the MRC, came in. We do still have money in the Board of Health budget, and there appeared to be enough to do this mailing through the Board of Health budget. They had used all their Region 4A funds already because they're trying to replace the trailer that had been damaged, so they were out of money for the year. So I told them as long as they could do it before June 30th, if the board approved it, then the mailing could be done with the Board of Health funds, and Bonnie Holston has already approved that, subject to your approval.
And the total is 335 or 60?
So, the 335 is to print the postcards, and then the 682 is the actual postage and mailing to everybody in town. So it comes out to a little bit over $1,000.
Oh, I see. And the 335, that's proper channels and bids or whatever, that's all above water?
Right, yeah, they were initially were gonna do it themselves, print the postcards and all that, and then they started pricing it out, and it was actually cost less to send it out to be done instead of buying all the materials and having someone make all the copies, and then the postage, because this company, gets the bulk rate for postage, so their postage was 16 cents versus ours, which is about 32 cents. So the mailing ended up being about half as much.
Okay. And you desire to have this done before, because of fiscal year?
Right, because then there's money left in the Board of Health budget right now, and I just have 2 bills to be signed, and one of them is just the Neshoba bill, which comes out of different accounts than what this would come out of, so there's money there, so if we can do it before June 30th, then, if we don't use it, we lose it as of June 30th, so.
Okay.
And then, we'll still have a lot of money for next fiscal year.
Yep. What's our annual budget, by the way? What do we get?
For operating expenses, it's about $5,000 for
Okay.
advertising and travel and attending seminars and other expenditures. We have another expenditure account, which is for cases in, if there's like a condemnation, or if there's a house that needs to be cleaned out or something, but as long as we don't go over the total 5,000, we can shift in between, and then each year when we present the budget, if we have to change the amounts,
Yep.
to different accounts, but it's about 5,000 for the year.
Okay. I assume this requires a board approval then?
Yes.
Anybody have any other questions about this?
No? I can make a motion to make sure that some of that money goes for whatever reason.
We
Okay?
have a motion to approve spending Board of Health funds for mailing to get Littleton Volunteer Corps volunteers.
I'll second.
We have a seconded. Any other discussions?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Who signs off on bills? Me or?
You sign off on bills, and, so
Sounds like something the clerk should.
well, we voted to authorize you.
Gotta pay attention.
And this one I'm gonna hold, because this one's not, this is for, the Mass Association of Health Boards, but it's not until July 1st, so we'll hold off till the next meeting, because that won't get processed until the next fiscal.
Should I sign it, or date it as well?
Sure.
13. There we go.
And so then, the other thing is, Peter Yap resigned, so
Yep.
we now have to have a joint meeting with the selectmen on July 10th to interview any new applicants. So we'll talk about that date when we're talking about the upcoming meetings. But
Yep.
that meeting has been set. The selectmen sent a letter on that the other
Yep.
day. And then, so there was an update on that Durkey Farms, the one there was a discussion a couple meetings ago about
Yes.
some additional testing, so I just included the letter that Jim had sent to those developers.
Okay.
And then, that 3 Lincoln Drive that had come up, the permit that came up last meeting, I have the emails from the Highway Department and the engineer that this was the approved stormwater design plan that goes along with the discussion that had been had about the, the drainage that
Yep.
the Highway Department's gonna handle. So I think I sent those in the electronic packet, but it's all there. So the board can review that. And, I didn't get a chance to work on that deed restriction policy, so we'll do that at another meeting. 11 to 15 Taylor Street. So that's the house that has an existing condemnation order.
Yep.
And we've been going to court for the past 5 months, trying to get it put into receivership. The son has now purchased the property and has begun to clean it up. And we did a site inspection there today, and the house is actually almost completely empty, which is amazing. And
Alright.
so the fire department was also on the inspection, and the fire department okayed the red X's being removed from the building. That was their order, to have those up there, so that if it had caught fire, the fire department didn't go in. Still waiting to hear from town council, but it's our understanding that the condemnation order has to be reissued to the new owner. So Jim is sending notice to him, he's aware of this, and that notice gives him the right to ask for a hearing before the board. So in all likelihood, he will
And
respond to
that hearing will be a request to remove?
Well, so Jim's concerns that he expressed today at the site visit were that there's still safety issues at the
Right.
houses. The foundation hole is still there. It's still a safety issue. The open well in the basement is still there. So although the debris and everything has been removed from the house, it still is a safety issue. So he still wants to make sure that the property's secured and that nobody's in there, because there's been rumors that somebody has been in there. So, so there's still safety concerns there, so the new owner is aware of all the steps the board will be taking. So he'll get the letter. He then has the right to ask for a hearing, and,
At which point he'd either present a plan on how he would
right,
make it
right.
livable or whatever.
Right. And that's, what Jim has been saying all along is, just tell us what your plan is, what you're doing, and, everybody's willing to work towards. He's still in the, he's waiting for a structural engineering report to come back, so he's still, it sounds like, trying to figure out whether he's gonna demolish or whether he's gonna repair. But in the meantime, that condemnation order still has to be in effect to make sure that nobody goes on that
Yeah.
property and is hurt. So,
As a new owner, does he, so Jim has to reissue the condemnation order? It doesn't transfer?
right, which we thought was strange. We thought it would carry with the property, but
Yeah.
it apparently doesn't. So, so that will be coming up in all likelihood at the next meeting.
All right, well, hopefully something happens. that they can save
Yeah.
the house. It's a beautiful,
Yeah,
Structure, can be.
we were amazed today when we went out there and the house was empty. So, I mean, you've been in there,
Yes.
so, we were like, just keep working with the town and,
Yeah.
keep it on board what you're doing, so. And then, this 38 Orchid Drive, I'm still waiting to hear, from town council. This is a request to have a deed restriction removed. He previously had a 2-bedroom deed restriction. He upgraded his system to a 3-bedroom system, and now wants to have the deed restriction removed. Jim and I couldn't find any form that this had been done before, so I had just sent a note to town council, because it is a legal document that gets recorded on the deed, so we can discuss that at the next meeting, too. So that's all I have.
Okay.
okay, anybody have anything else?
No.
Again, we'll wait till after the 2 hearings to discuss the future meetings and et cetera. Okay, so hey, look at that. Right on time. I told you, chop,
Perfect
chop.
timing.
Don't
Chop,
push
chop.
it. John, don't push it. You never know what can
Okay,
happen.
I'd like to open the hearing for 2 Laura Street.
All right, good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
My name is Steve Sears, and I'm with David Ross Associates, and I'm here on behalf of Mrs. Holt, Mary Holt. She kind of implied to me that she would be here, but I don't see her, so that's all right. And we're here because this is an upgrade to failing septic system at number 2 Laura. And this is, green cards?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll read the request in a minute. I just want to kind of give the board a overview. Do you know where this is? Goldsmith Street
yeah.
is here. If you come right up, straight up George Street, it kind of ends up here, but there's the side street, Laura Street's here. It's right on the corner.
Okay.
It's a single-family home. In fact, it's only 3 bedrooms.
Okay, and these are the only plans we have? right,
I think I
Shelley?
sent,
There's one with the permit. So
There's one right
another
there.
full-size
Okay,
with the
okay.
permit.
I mean, you can have these when I leave, too. I
Yeah,
thought I
just-
sent a few, too.
Oh, okay, there's a couple.
Sorry.
Nope, okay, all right.
The existing permit, how many bedrooms is it for?
3.
And you're asking for 3?
Yeah, we're not increasing the flow.
Okay.
We're going to keep it the same. She just wants to fix it.
Yep.
It's giving her problems.
Is it a Presby? I'm just,
No, stone and pipe.
Okay.
Traditional stone and pipe, I'm old-fashioned. Here, on the second sheet, it shows the profile and all that.
Yeah, I see now, right.
And presently, there's a septic tank right in the backyard and a leach field, and actually, we encountered the leach field when we dug hole 1 and 2, we ran right into it. We dug through it because the system's in failure, we knew she has to replace it. But then we dug hole number 3, which we had a very good deep hole there also. Let me just recite to you folks the variances that we're requesting. We have a maximum perk rate allowed for a lot that's 30,000 square feet or less is 30 minutes per inch. Well, this lot is only 13,000 square feet, so it's well below your regulations of the 30,000 square feet, and we have a perk rate of 30 minutes per inch. We sent the soil to the UMass Amherst lab, and it came back at 30 minutes per inch. So that's one variance we're asking for. Retaining wall with a poly barrier and grading fill is within 10 feet of the existing property lines. Your regulations state that it has to be over 10 feet. And we did that to maximize the area allowed. It meets Title V, so we maximized the area allowed, so we only had to have one small retaining wall along the George Street. Otherwise, we would have to have one there. One, put a wall up along the stone wall that's already there in the back, and another wall along the abutters property on the side.
You got a swell too, right?
Yes, we put swales in so any runoff or snow melt
Yeah.
will stay on her property and not go onto the neighbor's property.
Right.
On both, all three sides.
Right.
Are you raising the current?
Yes, yeah, the system's
By how much?
raised, let's see, I have a 108 on a 104, so it's gonna be about 4 feet in the air, about like that.
And right now, it's going to be
It's-
added
Yeah, the
4 feet
system's
from
in
where
there.
it is now?
System right now is in the groundwater. We had groundwater at,
So you're not looking for a variance on the separation?
we are, I haven't got to that yet.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
We're asking from a 4-foot to a 3-foot, a local upgrade approval, just to help on, otherwise this would be really up close to the property lines and everything. The groundwater was at 20 inches. That's, and then those are your two local variances that we're asking for, 5A and 23A. And then we're asking for local upgrade approvals, a reduction offset, this is the one you just asked me about, from high ground, separation from the bottom of the system from high groundwater from 4 feet to 3 feet, which Title V allows. And the next one is a sieve analysis be performed when perk test cannot be performed. We did that, we sent it to UMass and it came back. And then the reduction of the 12-inch separation from the inlet-outlet tees, the septic tank and pump chamber will be watertight and tested. And that's it.
So you have it from 4 to 3, right? From 4 feet to 3 feet?
Yeah, yes, we're asking for that just
Right.
because it's maximized enough. You can see that it takes up the entire backyard.
When you did your test holes, and I'm sorry, I know you went over it, but what did you find in the holes that you did? And how deep did you go?
Yeah, we found, we had 14 inches of A horizon, which was topsoil, and then 14 to 24 inches was B horizon, which is the subsoil, and then from 24 to 92 inches, we had the C horizon, which is the sandy loam,
And where was the water table? Did you hit it?
at 20 inches.
Was that modeling or the water table?
Actually, the modeling was at 24 inches, the groundwater was higher at 20 inches.
Oh, when did you do the holes?
April 6th,
This year?
yes,
Okay.
in the spring, which
So you
is,
got high water?
which is the highest groundwater
Yeah.
season to be, yeah, anyways.
Because I don't, I mean, I could be wrong because I haven't been on this, but I don't remember giving a variance yet for decreased separation except for the Presbys.
We do it all the time. We've had the offset separation.
Yeah, I'm just saying
for-
that that's just, it sounds new to me. I don't think we've done that
Well,
since I've been on the.
I don't do many Presbys.
Yeah.
I do stone and pipe, it's the old fashioned, the traditional, the
Yeah.
tested way of, and I've been in front of this board for 40 years.
So I mean,
I get it all the time.
I can't necessarily speak from exact memory, but I don't remember this, I don't remember us saying no to something like that.
Yeah, and Jim says to do it, and he's
Yeah.
usually pretty strict about that. I was kind
Right.
of surprised at that.
Jim
So
has
based
no
on it,
problem.
but just since I've been on.
Yeah, well, we haven't had a lot, actually, in the
Well, we've
last,
had a few, but
not the last 6 months.
they've all been Presbys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A lot of Presby, a lot of people doing the Presby.
Well, I think it's easier to give the reduction in the separation, and you just don't have the filtration, like, with a standard system.
Yeah. And they all use-
And that's
they
why
all
the reg
use
is written that
stone to
way.
Presby, though.
May I, Mr. Chairman? According to our agent, this area of town is served with town water, am I correct?
Yes, it is.
And the reduced amount of fill will minimize the potential effect of the surface runoff from the side. He says I don't have any issue with the request. So it's okay with our agent, it's okay with us too.
So, any other questions?
No.
Are you abutters or here for it?
Yeah, number 6, Laura.
Okay, you can come up if you
I'm
want.
just curious how much grading would be towards my lawn. I'd be on the north side. of
Which, could you point, I'm not sure where 6
Where the
is.
shed is. You'll know.
Oh,
On
I
that-
met you the day we were,
Maybe with Brian, when you did the test holes?
yeah, well, I came, did we talk? I met the butter right here.
No, it was pouring rain. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pouring rain, all
Okay.
right.
Yeah, we haven't had a drought until Mary needed
Okay.
the system.
Well, actually, there's no fill and grading directed to your property. There's a swale here which keeps all the fill and grading and any runoff onto her property.
Okay.
So the direction of it looks like the direction of the swale, and so the flow looks like it's toward Laura Street, toward the front of the house.
Right, into the
front of
lawn.
the
We
property.
got a nice swell too.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And that's an existing swale, or?
No, these are proposed.
That's proposed.
Yeah, they have to put these
Yeah.
in just so, yeah, it'll stay on her property. We basically do that with
My
every
driveway
design.
is just a tad higher anyways, so I
Yeah.
don't know if that helps you.
Oh, yeah, certainly does.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? All right, just quickly what Jim said, just to finish it up. He said the sewer disposal system for this site is believed to be in failure. The ridge system for the house is likely in the seasonal high water table. I think you.
It definitely is. I can tell you that.
Soil testing was conducted. The perk rate was determined with a sieve analysis because the soil was too damp to perk. The site has a number of restrictions which make it difficult to design a replacement system in compliance with Title V and our regulations. Because of the high water table at 20 inches, the lot is small,
Right.
perk rate is high at 30 MPI. So the town, and then as Gino had correctly stated, the town is served, this area of town is served by town water, and reduced amount to fill will minimize potential effect of surface runoff. I do not have an issue with this request. So, again, I guess just for my own education, because I continually learn about this, just your preference on a standard system as opposed
Well,
to
a stone
stone
pipe,
pipe, as opposed to Presby?
we've learned that it'll last over 20 years, 30 years, and we've heard a few Presbys in failure already, and they're less than 10 years. The Presbys are something new. There's a lot of them going in out there, and we're just afraid all of a sudden they're all gonna start failing because there's no stone used. It's just sand, and the sand will seal off quicker. This way here, this has sand and the stone in the pipes. It
It's gonna make a
should last
difference, it's gonna make a
longer.
lot of difference.
I have nothing against Presby.
Yeah.
We've used them ourselves, but we've used them only when we're so restricted that's the only thing that fits.
Yeah,
I
yep,
feel that the stone and pipe is a traditional system that works better than Presby or Cultec or any of those fancy things that it's easy for the installer to install. He brings them on his pickup, throws them in, and he
connects it.
makes a lot of money.
Yep.
But the stone in the pipe is a lot of work, and it works, it seems to work longer and better right now. We may find that Presby will go 30 years, and that's fine, but
Yep.
it's still not long-term tested, so we're a little gun-shy to use it all the time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, thanks for that, because we've had a lot of conversations with the engineers coming in on the Presbys. and
Yeah, and you know what, it's easy
You
for...
don't know if it hasn't been in for a long time.
Engineers, it's easy for them to slap a Presby in because it cuts down the footprint. It's closer to the groundwater, it's a smaller system, but my problem with it is it hasn't been long-term tested. I've been
You have
working
to wait.
with Dave Ross since 1971, and I very seldom see stone and pipe in failure, unless, you know, if it's real old or
Yeah.
somebody's doing something they shouldn't be with like a garbage grinder or such. But so I'm a little gun-shy on the Presbys right now, but maybe in another 5 or 10 years, I'll say no problem.
All right,
That's my take.
all right. No, that's helpful. I like that perspective. That is very good. Anything else? Any other questions? No? Okay. Someone want to?
You got it right?
Sure.
This is a big one. Lots of chatting.
So,
Just say ditto.
yeah, ditto.
Oh, boy.
Rick,
Rick and you.
Thank you. So I will move to grant a variance for 2 Laura Street, project number 31778. Is that your project number or ours?
Yes, that's our
Oh,
project
sorry,
number.
okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Regulation 5A, maximum percolation rate allowed for a lot, 30,000 square feet or less is 30 minutes per inch. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the, oh, approval requested, I'm sorry, okay. So, variance for section 15.4051H, reduction of system offset from estimated high water from 4 to 3 feet. Section 15.4051I, a sieve analysis may be performed if a percolation test cannot be performed. Section 15.405ILJ, reduction of 12-inch separation between inlet and outlet tees of septic tank and pump chamber and high groundwater.
What's the date on the plan?
I second.
The date on the plan?
Yep.
May 2017.
2000. And they stamped,
Stamped May 12th, 2017.
Okay, thanks.
and stamped, too.
Oh, thank you.
So we got a second?
I did second, I say second.
Okay, any other discussions?
Nope,
All right, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
thank you.
Aye. All right,
Thank you very much for
You
your
have
time.
a good day.
all right, thank you.
Might dig up anything on the Presby's, send it to us, please.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
More information is
I
better.
don't mean to sound negative.
No,
It's
that's
just not long-term tested yet, so we use it when we have to, but we don't just use it
Yeah, no,
all
it's
the
good to
time.
hear everybody's perspective.
You got permit for one of the
Just, I
sanitary?
don't know if you guys want to look at 3 Lincoln.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, if I can have Laura
You take
back.
care.
Yep, thanks, Michelle.
Okay, I'd like to close that hearing, and it's now 7:30.
Oh, jeez, you're gonna rub it
Keeping
in.
you going, Vic. All right, I'd like to open the hearing to 12 Long Lake.
12 Long Lake, what we have here is a stone and pipe traditional system in premature failure after only 10 years of use. Being replaced with one of those rinky-dink things that you snap together and put in the backyard because it provides additional capacity and better treatment.
Look at that, Mark. Oh.
Steve Sears,
Ted Doucette.
I love it.
We'll take care. Most of that's true. It is a system that is about 14 years old now. They're friends of mine, and the system has been in failure, for the record, Ted Doucette. We did have to notify butters, and the owner is coming with those notifications, I hope. But if we want to look at this, so, over here, here's Long Lake Road here. It's not near the lake, it's up before it drops off. The existing system, like I said, was put in back here in 2004, 2005. Like I said, I know them, so it's been in failure for a few years. And I wanted to get them the most capacity that I can, so I'm proposing to use infiltrators in a bed configuration. And by the math, that provides design flow for about 330 or 340 gallons a day, which is a design flow for a 3-bedroom, but it's a 2-bedroom, but there's an existing deed restriction on it, so it can only be done as a 2-bedroom. I'm just trying to get them as much capacity and get this thing to live as long as possible. We don't know why it failed. I know that at one point they may have had some higher flows. We are going to dig it up and look at it, and I have some suspicions, but we'll be able to look at it as they dig it up.
So we don't know why it failed.
No, a couple times in the last few years, they wanted me to go in, we talked about draining it and digging it up and getting in there, looking at some of the interfaces, but
It's too much work.
at this point, it's failed.
Yeah.
So let's replace it, and we'll do some investigation.
What's the deed
Research.
restriction again?
The deed restriction restricts the house to be only a 2-bedroom.
And what are you designing for?
For 3.
It has the capacity for a 3-bedroom, because I want to provide that, but it can only be sold and used as a 2-bedroom.
And so the permit is for a 2-bedroom?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so the permit will be 2-bedroom, so we won't have this problem that you're talking about with the other one, right?
Well, the other one's the opposite. The other one was a 2-bedroom, and now it's a 3-bedroom. He increased his flow.
Yeah, but he had a deed restriction for a 2-bedroom.
But he increased his flow under new construction standards, and so it can be a 3-bedroom, because he put
So
a
you're doing the
reserve
same thing, right? You're
No.
designing for a
area.
3-bedroom?
He's designing for a 3, but it's still a 2.
Everything on here says 2-bedroom, except when you get to the end of the calculations, the capacity is greater than it would be for a 3-bedroom.
Okay, gotcha, thank you. So capacity's 3, but your flow's 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you. So, back in 2004, I have the letters here, there were some variances that they requested. I'm requesting similar variances. Some of them are no longer necessary. I talked to Jim about it. You know, he recommended that we come and get them again, just to renew them, a new plan, get the variances done, everything's tied up in a bow. So I had to request for grading within 10 feet of a property line. However, there is going to be no grading in there. He felt that there was a court case, I guess, previously, that he said, well, as long as there is going to be grade there, or you may be working within there, let's get that variance. So requesting that one, but we're going to use the same impervious barrier that's out there, that's going to stay there. We're putting the system within 5 feet of that, which is allowed, and we're getting that additional area here. Let's see, you can see the existing system is approximately here.
That's what that thought, okay.
This one
Yeah.
is, okay, and then the infiltrator is here. So it's not really that much bigger, but you get allowed, the design flow can be higher, the calculated flow can be higher because of the type of system it is and the approvals that they have. So,
You're not changing the surface grade or the ground surface grade?
no, it may actually come down, I don't think it will, because I'm taking advantage of reducing the offset from groundwater so I can bring the system down, because if you're using these infiltrators, they're slightly higher than a traditional bed, so I want to get that variance, allow the offset from groundwater to be reduced so I can bring it down and
What
not
do you
have
want-
to fill it any higher.
Reduce from what?
Well, I went down
Sorry, I don't have
to,
the-
yeah, I went down to allowed 3 feet, and that's where I put it, so I do have a 3-foot offset from groundwater now.
If you were designing for 2 bedrooms, would you need that offset variance?
Yes, because I would still want it at the same elevation, I would still want it a little bit lower in the ground and not sticking up, so that they don't have any mound and we can.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So the existing tank and the existing pump chamber, since they're only 12, 14 years old, whatever it is, those are going to stay. And they'll be able to have access from here and excavate the existing system and put this one in there. So I have the reduction from offset, elimination to show reserve area, one wasn't shown then, but there's just no area for reserve area on this.
But you're replacing the leach field, right?
Yes, just the leach, well, D-box leach field.
Do you have the, I don't have the letter that says what you're requesting exactly. Do you guys have that?
Here's my copy for right now,
Those are the electronic packets I sent out.
that one there.
Yeah, I didn't print it out, but,
And-
yeah, I have that. I have that. She's asking for what these specific.
Here.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
It's good that.
And then the other one
Want to
is,
see this?
what was the last one? Yeah. This was one that Jim wanted, requesting that, for fill to be placed within the 10 feet of a property line. As I said, all the fill is there, there's no more fill that's going to go there. Maybe during the construction process, some material is placed there, but the grades will match the existing grades when it's done.
And so,
Oh.
just so I understand the time, the timeline of this, this was originally, well, not originally, but this was replaced in 2004. The existing owners replaced it? Or is it, are they new owners?
This is Ed McDonald, who is the owner now, who just,
Yeah.
you want to come sit up here, Ken?
Yeah,
I believe it was done as
Prior?
escrow, so after they moved in, the owner left money in an escrow account for you to get it?
They're the, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But we don't have an understanding of why it failed.
No, like I said, I have
You
some
don't figure that-
suspicions, but
Okay.
we'll take a look.
Okay. Is this, normally when we have stuff that fails, it fails because of age or
Abuse.
abuse. Is this some of a unique situation, you think, that you'll uncover or verify your concerns when you do? I'm just wondering, like, are we gonna, in another 10, 13 years, this may fail again or something like that, we'll be
I
back.
hope
Well,
not.
I won't be here, but someone will be here.
So, there were high flows at one point. They had an old washing machine that put out like 75 gallons per load, and they had, a couple kids, and actually at one time she was babysitting for an infant, so there may have been high flows at one point.
Yeah.
Looking at their water records over the last 5 to 6 years, their water records are less than a 2-bedroom design flow.
Okay.
So, there's something in there, I believe, that's clogging the interface between the stone and the sand.
Okay.
But again, even if we dug it up and found out what it was, it's not like we're gonna say, hey, you owe us a new system because this happened, right? You know.
Right. Okay, I was just curious if, like, there was something just untoward about, I've had a situation years ago where I had a system that just failed, and when they went to replace, there was all sorts of concern about, if we just replaced it, will we see the same thing again, sort of thing, and they made us do a real big one to avoid that, but this was in a different state.
Yeah, well, we're trying to do as big as we can. I mean, we could have gone bigger, but this
Yeah.
is as big as we can with, practical cost.
Yeah.
Did you do a test pit, or do you have logs for that?
So I use the same test logs as there were that were before. It's just difficult to do.
What does it
test
look
pits
like?
there. So they had sandy loam and a perk rate of 15 minutes per inch, I believe.
Oh, so
Yeah,
that's
15 minutes per inch. So it's not that bad.
breathing sandy loam, right?
Yeah, sandy loam, let me say that. Sandy loam, that's actually not bad for that area.
I'm a geologist, I don't log sandy loam.
What do you log? It uses different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, what do we use?
Remember,
USGS or something, or
USGS.
USDA, I think we
Oh.
use, yeah. So,
Butters, I assume, butter,
Okay.
yeah,
Well back from
okay,
something right behind them. And
okay.
I was kind of concerned with the same thing, when they just put that system in, what's, and
Yeah.
I wasn't sure of how it was, because I know when the other guy put it thing in, he knocked down the stone wall that was between the two properties and threw it in, so I was more concerned of whether it could end up on my property or not.
And that's this back stone wall here? You behind?
I'm in right behind.
Behind, so that must be, there's an existing stone wall here, that's what this,
Yeah, that got moved, when the other guy put it in. So
Okay.
I was concerned that it was, they were going by where it is now, and it's like, I have about 6 to 8 feet from my fence line,
I see, so with this dark line, this thicker line is the
Property.
property line, so the stone fence has actually been moved more completely onto your
Because
property, it's not on the line.
Matter of fact, I was out there this morning, I met your wife there, and they looked, and I was measuring how far it was from the property stake to my fence, and it was 8 feet. And it was the stone wall, hadn't been moved there. And it was, the stake, the stone wall, and then property. Because I had to put my fence in because of trees and in there, between the stone wall and then trees. So I just was making sure that it wasn't going to come on, onto my property, because I'm going to have to be getting a system anytime. So, and that, it wasn't going to drain on. Anytime, because it looked like it was going down, I'm thinking, any of this rain is going to be coming back onto my property. And
So the
'cause it's-
local regs are 10 foot, right? Fill the property line, is that right?
Right.
Right, and and that's one of the,
So are you filling right to the property?
No, we're not changing the fill. Like I said, it was Jim was
right,
box to
I'm
check
sorry.
off,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
just belts and suspenders kind of
So you're
thing.
just more or less putting it right where it is now. It's just, yeah. So, that's, because that's what I was concerned about, having, where they were switching things around. I said, I don't want to lose any more property than I have, because I have a very small backyard.
yeah,
Because my house was set back to the line, and all my property is up in front to the house.
mhm.
And I'm not gonna be able to put a septic thing because I have the gas lines, the
Yep,
water
yep,
lines,
yep.
and well, and everything else out there. So-
Okay, what Jimmy said, may I, Mr. Chairman?
For a septic
The septic system for the
Well,
site,
hold on, do we have other, before we go down that route, any other questions, or?
No, it sounds like he's just putting it right back where
Yeah.
it was, so that should not, cause a problem.
Okay,
Oh,
Go, I was just gonna see if there were any other comments from the board? Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, I talked to this about her a couple of times also, and she had some questions, similar questions about fill and drainage and things like that, her septic system, and talked to her on 2 occasions, and I said to her last night when I was talking to her the night before, and I said, okay, so are you comfortable with this, and can I tell the board if you don't show up, you're comfortable with this? And she said yes, so it seems that all of her questions were answered.
And all the abutters were noted in plenty of time? Those are the correct, okay, all right. Go ahead, sir. If you have the floor.
okay, I thought just reading what our agent 12 Long Lake Drive. The septic system for the site being replaced 2004, and the time the board granted a number of variances to assist with the design and installation of this replacement system. The leaching field is a failure, and the applicant would like to replace it. The plan presented will utilize the existing tank, and the leach field will be removed and replaced. The replacement will meet similar local upgrade approval and variance to your regulation. I don't have a problem with the proposed replacement system, and it should not materially change the grading in the backyard. The area is served by the town water, and it provide additional effective leaching area. So you're set.
So we have some requests.
Yep, so I'll move to accept the, or to grant variance to 12 Long Lake Road, as shown in the plan,
What's the stamp?
stamped and dated, the stamp,
19 May 2017.
19.
for the following. In accordance with 310 CMR 15.212, request reduction in the groundwater offset from 4 feet to 3 feet. In accordance with 310 CMR 15.405H, the lower height will reduce the limit of fill and prevent it from being closer to the neighbors. 310 CMR 15.248, request elimination of the requirement to show reserve area. Property is a small lot, 7,500 square feet, and with the percolation rate, there's sufficient area for only a primary soil absorption system. As is, I don't think I have to read the whole thing. As is typical with many designs that do not include an increase in design flow, reserve area is not provided. And number 3, variance to Littleton Board of Health Regulations 23 and 26, retaining walls and fill to a property line. Due to the high groundwater, the existing system was constructed in fill, and the limited area available required fill within 10 feet of the property line. Grading requires the surface drainage to be directed to the rear of the lot, as with the previous design. This request is made as a requirement, as the existing fill for the previous system is located within 10 feet of the property line. The existing plan does not change the location of the fill or the impervious barrier.
Thank you so much for coming.
There we go. Well,
We have to.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I make a motion to accept.
you second?
I second.
What are you seconding? You gotta read it. No, you don't. All right, any other questions?
You're lucky, look at that 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get it moving. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, guys.
Very much, thank you.
All right, you take care.
Shelley?
Yeah.
Did
I
you
don't
get
have to
your
read the whole thing if they give a
original back?
description. I just need to
Yeah.
read
Get the
the
permit?
variances.
Yeah, like
Did you get the permit already?
sometimes you can
all
say,
right.
the variances as listed in the
You take
letter
care.
dated such and such and shown on the plan dated.
Yeah, like,
Because that's what I put in the motion.
I can do the 3 things, I
Yeah.
just didn't, you,
Yeah.
good,
The
but-
first
yeah.
sentence usually,
Yeah.
I try to put it all in one.
No, no,
so
that's
that people
good.
can-
You like to put lots of words.
Yeah, yeah.
You like that, John?
No, but you should see
Lots of
emails.
words.
I read it. She made the motion, I second it and approve it.
Butter, so it's a little bit on the chin.
Efficiency.
Are you gonna go home now?
Well, we gotta finish up some stuff.
I know,
Yes, but yes, I
You
am.
you don't have time to go.
Did you guys want to look at this? I'm fine with this.
Shelley,
Uh,
what was
3
This was
Lincoln.
the, yeah,
Tomorrow morning.
I didn't look at the details
It
of
was
it, but
approved. Jim
I read
Hines
the,
said-
yeah,
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 okay.
so I'm good.
Okay, that's good to go. Thank you, Shelley.
All right,
Good job.
future meetings, quickly, so there's a couple things.
So the next one is,
The next one's the 27th. I may or may not be here for that.
I will not.
I'm gonna be in Boston, and I don't know what time those meetings get over.
You do what you can, that's all.
Then we have the 11th of July. I'm gonna be gone the 11th of July.
Okay, and we have the 10th with the selectmen.
And I'm gonna be
yeah.
gone the 10th of
Okay.
July. So I can't make that meeting.
Okay,
I'm gonna be gone the 25th of July,
Don't worry,
so I can't make that meeting.
as long as
The
you have
8th,
3 members.
August 8th?
August 8th, I will be here August 8th.
All right,
And the 22nd, I will be here. I think I will be here. When do I return? Yeah, return on the 6th.
the 22nd, did you say is the second one in?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
So I am possibly not here the 27th. I know I'm not here for the joint meeting on the 10th. I'm not here the 11th, and I'm not here the 25th.
What time is the joint meeting on the
We're gonna go in front of the selectmen, should I,
Well, that's...
would you trust us
Oh, of course.
to make sure? that-
Well, I think we also have to make sure Lisa's there, right?
Right,
No,
right.
I mean, we need
We need,
a quorum.
7:15.
Yeah.
I
At
can
least
be
three.
there the 10th. I start a new job on the 10th, so.
Excellent. Is it excellent?
Is, yeah,
Good.
offshore wind.
Oh, okay.
so we make sure we have Lisa too, in case she can't make it, so we have to go in front
No,
of
I
the
know I
selectmen.
can't make it. I'm
No,
gonna
no, I know, don't worry, but the
Yeah,
question is, if there's only 3 people, we can make it, but what happened?
Well, it's a joint meeting, so basically, the interviews will be held that night. It's a joint meeting with the board, so
Right,
whatever
right.
board members are available, you
Right.
want to go because you want to give your input, and you want
Right.
to be
But
able
we
to
don't have to have a
interview.
quorum, right?
No, if
Okay.
only you and Gino are available, that's
Yeah.
up
Or if
to you.
none of
fine.
us show up, they can still do it, correct?
Right, they're gonna do it regardless of who shows up.
Okay.
This just gives you the opportunity to meet the people, ask questions, make it a joint
To say
decision
fair,
instead
yeah.
of the selectmen just doing the appointment and that person coming in. So whoever's available, I'll post it, and then whoever's available just
Okay.
goes,
Okay.
and I'll send a
Yeah,
reminder out.
yeah, in the event, in the event if she can make it or something, it would not be fair for me only if I'm against 5 individuals. So if I favor somebody that is more qualified than somebody else, and the selectmen would prefer to have that particular person they like, that will not be fair for the board.
No, it's the way the cookie crumbles.
No, I don't like that. I'm saying, in the event that something happened, as a vice chairman, and I will, if he's not there, I will take the role as a chairman. I can say, we'd like to postpone that meeting for
No,
another
they won't
time.
postpone.
I don't have a problem
They're
with
gonna,
it. I mean,
we
I don't-
need to have
do
the
you a problem
appointment,
with it?
so that
Well, so
you're
I
ensured a
guess-
quorum.
I don't know, do we have candidates?
The
I have
notice
one.
just went out in the paper, so.
I have one already.
I can ask Diane, as applications come in, to forward them to me, and I can forward them to you, so you
Oh, that'd
can
be
all
good.
see who's coming
That-
in and get a sense of who's going to be there that night.
So in the absence of anybody that they select that's, clearly not qualified over
Right,
someone
right,
that
right.
is,
Just because they wanted to be on the board, it will not be fair for the Board of Health, and it will not be fair for the selectmen to make the decision. If they have no knowledge at all or any experience, it will not be fair for the board, period. So even though the selectmen will not do that, we can still function as a full members until we have the capacity of,
well, we're going to have difficulty functioning.
Yeah,
as
if
full
John's
members,
missing this many, then,
Right? I mean, and that's,
I see what
you
happened.
know what I mean? I mean,
I personally, I trust the Board of Selectmen to make
I
the
know, I
decision.
trust them too. The question is, that they're already biased about how the board is conducting.
well, that's the reason that you want as many board members there to give input from the board. That's the whole idea of
Yeah,
the
I
joint
know,
meeting.
yeah. So it'd be fine, and
But because it's an appointment, it actually is the Board of Selectmen's jurisdiction. They just,
I know.
they
but-
just invite you to come as a joint meeting
I know.
because it is your board and it is going to be one of your members. But, like, for example, if I hadn't got the 3 signatures on that sheet by that Friday that I was scrambling to get you guys,
Yeah.
they would have had this meeting
Anyway,
anyway.
I understand.
So,
Yeah.
it's an appointment that, under the way the rules work, the Board of Selectmen make, they just invite,
But as long as you
to
can
come
trust it,
and-
John.
and-
I guess I don't see I don't have any reason to
So,
believe that we'll do
hopefully,
it,
all 3 of the
but-
other available members can go,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be held that night,
Yeah,
regardless of who's.
but it would be nice to see,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I'll ask them
I think- I
as
think I-
applications come in, I'll have them
I
forwarded
think
out
I
to
can
you.
go.
Okay.
and you'll be able, so
Yeah,
that's.
yeah.
I won't be here August 8th.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
And
vacating,
June
I was here
27th,
before.
I think I'll be here. I'm not-
Yeah,
No, don't worry about John, you do what we can.
well, June 27th, I mean,
Yeah, I need to,
if Aaron can't make it, we likely won't have. a
I'll be here, I'll be here,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'm in New York that whole week,
And-
so I need to know by the Wednesday before, so I
At
can
least
post the
I'll be-
agenda.
I'll be
for
here, we'll
the-
just have to check with the.
So what's the story with Lisa, she has a,
Lisa's on vacation this week,
okay.
and I think she said she didn't have any other conflicts, but I will send her an email confirming that.
All
Okay.
right.
Because at one point she was saying,
Well, so
About
her,
jobs.
yeah, so her situation
Oh,
is,
that's right, yeah.
she works Tuesday nights, but she's able to, on the weeks that there aren't meetings, she stays like 15 minutes later, so the week she does have meetings,
She
she
can
can leave
scoot
15
down.
minutes earlier so she can get here. She said she may not be here right at 7 for some, but I said that's generally just the administrative matter
Yes.
portion anyway. But she said the only time she will run into a conflict is if it's a meeting that we don't have on that second or fourth Tuesday. If we change the meeting schedule, because she's kind of worked her work schedule to allow her to get out on the second and fourth Tuesday. So if we start shifting, to a third week or something like that, she won't be available
Yeah,
because she has to work those days.
no, it's, I mean, it's fine, as long as we,
Yeah, it's,
we,
Summertime tends to slow down, and if nothing comes in, I try to push it to only have like one meeting in the summer months.
Yep.
So, I do already have two things scheduled for the 27th, so, and one of them did get a butter notices, so I will just need to know that we have 3 members for that day.
Okay.
okay.
no problem. Anything else?
So what I'll do is I'll send this out to everybody and have Lisa, when she returns, update so that we can see if there's any of those other dates that Lisa's not available. I guess we're assuming that as of July 11th, there'll be another member, but,
Right.
let's just get
Let's
everybody
say a prayer.
on the
Yep.
same page.
And I
So
can't,
Erin, if you just let me know for sure that the 27th will
What do you
work
feel?
for
I can hear
you
you.
in the next
Don't worry.
week.
Everything,
don't worry,
still the
just-
chairman, don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah, no, I don't care about that, I just can't
I'll
guarantee
just
even in
contact
August.
them and move it out to the 11th.
There's a lot more, I'm getting a lot more travel for my job, so, oh, no, I'm not worried about
don't worry.
it. Believe me, I have a lot of other things I lose sleep over.
Yeah.
This isn't one of them.
Okay.
I'm just
So we
being
have a
above board.
pile
I do
of
have some stuff we have to
permits.
sign.
Two of them are the hearings from tonight. One of them is 3 Lincoln Drive. Most of them are just transfer permits for the
I
some
don't know
new
your one. Look how
subdivisions
many-
going from the original
stamp.
applicant to the new contractor. And then there's just a couple of boxes.
There, stamp out. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay.
The one that we don't review, the no variance ones, we still have to sign them, right? Oak Hill Road, Lot 3, that didn't have a variance?
That's just a transfer. That was a previously
Oh,
approved.
okay.
All right, my man.
23 Edward Drive, Lot 10, is that? over there?
Yep, those are all transfers. Everything Edward Drive is a transfer.
Says
Oh, transfer, okay, thank you.
But the agent hasn't signed this one yet, Charlie?
Huh?
The agent hasn't signed this one.
Oh. Have them sign them all Thursday.
2 Whitetail Way?
2 Whitetail is a D-box replacement.
Yeah.
Oh, those aren't that old.
No. There's another one.
I knew Ted was gonna say
Okay.
something about it.
As soon as Steve started saying that, I was like,
That was awesome.
I knew he was gonna do it. I was just waiting, I'm like, when engineers arm wrestle, that's.
Yeah, you're the,
funny, because you see it that engineers,
Wait a minute. this one is signed.
their preference.
This one is not
No
signed.
absolutes. I mean, there just isn't.
Right.
You can sit there and say there is, but there isn't.
Don't
Exactly.
say that to an engineer.
Because it all comes down to what you're putting in the system.
Yep.
And like I said, you get people, that come from the city that don't understand it's not a
They do
garbage
it.
disposal and,
They do it with science, though, too. It's like, oh, science says
Oh,
this.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it says that today. 2 Sheridan Lane?
2 Sheridan, I think, was just a That was an upgrade, but no variances.
Oh,
Jeez, how many you got?
50.
and,
Oh,
that
macaroni.
was,
My hands
Jim
get
didn't
tired.
sign that one.
Okay, I'll put these all on his desk.
Do you want to put that one at the top of the pile, so?
There's been a couple that I think he hasn't signed, so.
Yeah, I seen them over there. Double check.
8 Spruce Street, lot 30,
Spruce.
Durkee.
That's the turkey.
That's Durkee, that's a new lot.
No
That-
variance?
No variance.
Where is it located, this one here? Sharon Avenue. Oh,
Sandy Loam. That can go in the top too, Jim didn't sign it.
Oh, okay, good.
Seal Harbor.
are you gonna go to soup, John, tonight?
So,
Did you fly somewhere
Don't drink
today?
coffee.
no, I came in last night, and then it was just,
Oh.
woke up early, went to work.
Did you jet lag?
Jeez,
No
man.
jet lag, I don't normally get jet lag, I just think it was hot and sticky, and
Oh, God, I know.
I knew it, I knew, I didn't get to bed till after 1 o'clock, I knew I was gonna
Can I
be
turn it
up.
off?
Hold on.
To adjourn.
All right, any other discussions?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I need, look at that, there's some more.